We'll start in 2 minutes. Where are you right now, by the way?
In a little town called Setúbal, right
S-
south from Lisbon.
Hmm.
I guess this is like the suburbs of Lisbon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Suburbs. Okay. They don't look like our suburbs, in Montreal or
No.
Quebec suburbs. No. What's the big difference?
Very well. A big difference I noticed this morning. I had to cross a park to like grab coffee, and the park is like full of people. You've got kids, you've got teenagers, people hanging around. And if I think of parks in the suburbs of Montreal, they're never quite used that much. And it was kind of flagrant to me, like how people live here, and it's like more alive somehow. I
Ah,
don't know, more dense,
yeah.
kind of.
Well, more people.
Yeah.
We saw that in pandemic where people just, uh, get back in parks and had fun.
Mm,
And I hope it will be a good habit to just use our parks a
yeah,
little bit more.
totally.
Yeah. I see people using their front balcony now a lot
More,
more. Yeah,
yeah,
and not just
making
open
it pretty and comfortable.
and sit down and just have a glass of something and just look at
That's the
the,
best.
the people.
Look
Yeah,
at the street.
that's a real sense of a city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so I found this article on UX Stack Exchange, and kind of cool that we have to do something in mobile. I don't know why. We
Yeah.
didn't do that much, and I wanted to do one just for fun. And I have something right now where they need to do advanced search. So advanced search will
Nice.
a lot of things. Yeah. So let's try something. Let's try something. Just find. Let's try to find what's the problem. So I can Cha, I think, trying to get a solution to the mobile version of a web layout for advanced search, which include drop downs, filters, checkbox, and toggle buttons. Okay. So try to get it in a responsive format, but the elements are coming out very small and or big in a mobile view. So how we
Mm-hmm.
can, use the space smartly in a mobile view. And yeah, so here a wireframe of the web layout of the advanced search. This is what we have. So let's look at what we have. Any things that just strike you right now?
Um. Well, I find there's a lot of space. There's like a lot of white space around here. I'm. I guess we miss the context of like what these titles are and what these
Hmm.
toggles mean, but there seems to be a lot of red. It's kind of alarming. Um, so
Yes.
yeah, space is a big one that comes up, and when the person writes out that stuff is coming out very big on a mobile screen, the first thing I want to say that on that kind of topic is that like it's good to not be afraid of big buttons and target areas on mobile because people have fingers of varying
True.
sizes. So making it really easy for people to hit the thing and click in and comfortably, that shouldn't be a problem. There are limits, of course, but that's one thing that kind of came to mind first. Um, but the toggle thing is a bit mysterious to me. It's like you can turn on or off each of these.
You mean issue? Oh, that's a toggle. That's a
Yeah,
toggle.
I
Oh,
think so, yeah.
so a toggle with a
It's like
check
a handle and a
box.
red box or green box.
What's
I
the
see,
intention
yeah.
here? You
I
think?
wish I knew what this was about. They maybe have IP to protect here. But yeah, the toggles is like I feel like it's another question. Because if it's a matter of toggling on or off these, let's call them variables, that's pretty easy to recreate with what they basically have here, the checkbox. Like checking it on would mean that it's active and then you make a selection, or checking it off, it maybe just kind of disappears or collapses.
Feel like
I
they
wish I
are
knew what it means.
setting their, have some kind of setting their search strategy in a way. I want this, I want this, I want that. I have some result, and now I'm just removing stuff or just playing with it. Let's
Mm-hmm.
remove this, remove that. It's kind of strange. I never saw that. I never saw that. And in enterprise UX, kind of something you don't want. A kind of a new behavior that nobody has used before.
Right.
Because most don't use advanced search. 90%. I don't know what's the percentage, but most use the classic search. So when they're going into advanced search, having a big learning curve is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the web layout for desktop. So now we have to do something for mobile, user space, bigger stuff. But I don't see the filters, checkbox, toggles, drop down. Yeah, it's all there. It's true. Huh. So,
but then I'm also a bit confused about. Okay, so the first box at the top is like the regular version of it, and then the bottom part is the advanced, where you can kind of open it up, I guess.
Is it? I'm not sure. I feel like this is the simple one, and this is, for example, when it's that complex. When you're selecting your drop down,
it makes me feel like you can open up, this container can like expand.
Yeah. I see. You're right. You're right. And you then click on this, you expand.
This is a search text, and this trio becomes here, and then these three options become all of that potentially.
Oh, got it.
So there's like a simple version and then advanced version.
And do you think that a row is, So we have image that is a row. Great. This is part of image, I think. Are they individual columns or they are?
Well, what I see is that that's one of the things that's confusing here is that each field has the on or off.
Yeah.
Let's assume this is an on or off thing, toggle. Yeah. But then you also get it. Well, this one is really confusing to me. But then you also get it sometimes for like the whole kind of group. Is that maybe that this means? But then this one is for individual fields. Okay. And but then it's not consistent because this one doesn't have a global toggle. I wish I knew what the word said. But I guess we should just make some assumptions here because we have missing context. But let's just go with each filter or search parameter has on or off state.
Let's do that. And everyone is individual here, but not image, for example, image or product. This is group. So we can say it's a field set or cluster of a couple of search parameters. But these one are independent, and you have at the end search text in general. Okay, right. So how we can frame the problem is
to write it out. I just want to design it now, but the real thing is like it's not that tricky. I feel what happens on mobile is just the stuff that's horizontal becomes vertical. Drop downs, can exist on mobile as well. There are some things we can be smart about space for. If there are options in here that represent ranges, there's more condensed ways to like showcase a range with like a slider or something. But I feel like it'll be a long list, of course, because there are a lot of filters here. That's the point of this advanced interaction. But I don't know that we have to be afraid of scrolling on mobile. It's so easy.
No, we don't have to. Yeah, exactly. It's even better.
And not afraid of big targets as well, just to make it easy to hit the right things.
To touch. Okay. So we just go on to design. There's something about, we have to fix this problem that is
the turning on and
off of a search parameter. That's kind of something that we have to fix, and that's a problem. And let's try something. Okay, let's try it. Let's design something. So
the on or off, because the on or off can be like detected if you, again, we're assuming this is on or off, but it's kind of redundant if it is, because if I make a selection, I want it on, and if I don't, I want it off. So I guess, but that would involve always having the possibility to deselect an item from the dropdown. So you know how let's say this one here, it says like all classes. But then wait, that is actually a selection because you want all.
You have all classes, but you want, the classes that have issues, or you don't. Well, that's one problem. So how many classes have issues, and do you want to display them or not? So it's maybe not the right component for that. There's something in the drop down we can do, and you can say hide them or show them. Something like that.
Oh, do you think this is like an exclude?
I feel like that.
Yeah, so it's like include all the things that match A, B, and C, but exclude the things of that have Z, X, Y, Z.
Oh, that could. So,
because that's an advanced. It's something that comes up in advanced searches and filtering.
So let's give an example. Classes. You have.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, let's
then like use this filter or not. Okay, let me try something.
Yeah. Where are you? I don't see you, Whimsical. Are you there?
I am.
Can you move something? Because I don't see your cursor.
Here, I'm dropping a checkbox.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. You don't see my mouse? I'm on here, logged in and everything. Okay.
I don't know why. It's okay.
Bizarre. Include or exclude. That makes so much more sense.
So, yeah, I feel like...
Okay, wait, let me try something else.
Try something else. Can I have a search somewhere? Or...
this one.
That's one thing we can do. Kind of want the music now.
Oh no, it's not a toggle. I need a switcher. Do we have a switcher in here?
No.
Not really. Oh, maybe something like this. Heck. Can I get two? Oops.
By the way, do you think that we should include a search in the UI, or extract a search in a slide-in or model or something like
that? Yeah, good question. I think this kind of experience deserves a full page moment.
So, yeah.
It could be made to look like a slide-in drawer or whatever side makes the most sense for where it's placed. But it should have the whole room, and it like sometimes I see let's say a filter sidebar that has like a bit of room to click out and click back into the page you were on, and that's kind of scary in these contexts because you're making like a complex selection, and you don't want to like again hit the wrong pixel and close it all without. Well, unless you make it possible for you to like confirm that you close out.
Got it.
But it's easy to make that like to not integrate it really well. So to be cautious.
I'll do something like a slide, but the goal here is just whatever it is. It could be something like that. Search, and we can see the content here. So it's a layer on top of something. Include, exclude.
Maybe. So like
Well,
each kind of this would be a thing, and then each thing has a, you mark it as which one you want. If the toggle thing is indeed an include exclude situation.
so let's be more precise. Include issues or exclude them.
Ah, okay.
Maybe
So that
would be better.
this is because this filter would be about issues, you mean?
No, I think it will be all classes, but there's, classes, but inside, maybe you have tons of classes, but there's maybe 10 of them that have issues. So we can say all classes, for example, have, 99 classes, but there's some that, 12 that have issues. And you want to include them.
Classes that have issues.
Feel like that, no, right?
I guess I wasn't there with you. For me, I understood it as like I'm gonna make a selection on here, so I want classes of like type A, B, and C, whatever the options in the dropdown are, and I want this to be included in the results, or I want these to be excluded from the results. Because
so why
you know how
issue?
well, issue is just the name of the item. Well, no, not forget that. That's not true. I don't know what issue means in this context, but because the opposite of issue is yes. Like, unless they're different toggles, but maybe they're the same thing. Issue.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh God, we have to make a choice. We have to make this assumption here.
That's
so
it. Yeah.
it's a catalog tracker. So a catalog, you have catalog tracker. It's a tracker. So there's maybe something going on right now where something doesn't happen, or let's say we are tracking something that is in transport or whatever. This class have a problem, or it's a tracker. So you're tracking what exactly? You're tracking a list of product, a list of items, and some of them.
So you think issue means problem, and that for every single one of these filters
you
that
want to
talk
filter
to
out
different types of data, they can have issues or not.
Issues or complete or yes, that is, okay. I'm sure I'm wrong, but I don't know where. That's probably. What do you think? What's your point of view here?
Issue. Oh my God, I'm so perplexed. Issue. I hate that it's like the same one everywhere. Also, so it's really, if it really is the same toggle for each type, they all have that in common. And I'm like, no idea what they can be. Oh.
I don't know. I'm looking at the UX Exchange. I don't have more information. Just saying that the XXX are just title of the data that need to be represented.
Okay, but let's just keep this idea on the side. So including and excluding, it's a thing. You might need it. Like if this fits your scenario of like advanced search on mobile, that's a way to do it. Yeah. And then we can do this.
Oh, why not? That's better than
each field has this thing that I don't know what it means, and then you make a selection, and then you do this.
Let's just do a visual hierarchy here.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. So it looks a bit more grouped.
Well, what I don't like about it in mobile is that this and this is very, very, very close.
Yeah.
In mobile, I don't even, maybe
because I'm also thinking potentially just having them be together like a little group. But then this is very short for a label, depending on the types of labels. If this is user generated, you have no idea how long the labels tend to be. They can like always be super long, and they can always have the first sequence of, let's say, a code. Maybe it's like an inventory thingy where everything starts with like the same sequence of like letters and numbers, and the important thing is at the end, and then you would never see what you selected.
You're right.
So keeping a lot of room, the most room we can horizontally, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we don't have to to make sure that we're using all the space. Like Kansha said, we're in mobile, so we can scroll a lot. We can. It's okay if we do something like that, where nobody's saying no to that, even if it's so. Oh, issue.
I don't know. I don't know if checkbox is the move. Because we don't know what issue means.
And just for fun, I kind of hate drop downs in mobile. What I mostly do when there's a drop down and try to see if there's another component that's dropped down. Drop down are not that great.
Well, you know what I like to do with drop downs on mobile?
Oh, yeah, please.
I like to just tell the devs to default to the native drop down of the phone. So then you can't really go wrong. So you hit the target on your UI, and then you let the OS do what its thing. So on iPhone, there's like this bottom drawer at the space of your keyboard, and you can swipe through super easily. You can multi-select super easily. Like it's patterns that we've already seen. Because recreating the drop down, then you have to nail the size, and you have to make sure you can see the whole thing and have it not be cropped below the viewport. Like I know it's kind of a headache. So sticking to the whatever comes for free is always a safer idea. It's a bit maybe off-brand if you're like really, if you really care about your colors and everything. But
by the way, okay, two things here. We can talk about if there's just a couple of items, like 3, 4, 5 items, why drop downs. That's one. We can talk about it, but we don't know right now, so that's a problem. And what about instead of having all the filters, just adding a filter? It's empty, which is a search, and slowly you're adding a filter, and then you can maybe have different settings for every filter. I think it would be better than just scrolling. So let's do another one, just by adding a filter after the other.
So each time you add, you pick your variable from the very beginning, and then you tell it what you want.
There's maybe defaults we can think about, so there's a big add button somewhere. Let's say that it's empty and now it's full. Let's just duplicate it. Empty and full. Is there a duplicate? Past. Oh yeah, okay. So there's one. Yeah, the first one would be just text, right? Search text.
Well, would you even be in this view if you were at the very, very beginning? Because the initial step of the flow is this smaller box, right, that we saw. And then if you do want to go into advanced search, you like pull up the big thing. But then maybe there's
there's a couples by default. Oh, you're right. Sorry, you're right.
But maybe there's a way where with the adding, it could happen on the same screen of the results.
Feel like just search. It's not an advanced search anymore. It's just a search. You're just enriching it. So if you're adding stuff, wherever it is, so it's search text. Now you can slowly add one filter after the other, and it can become an advanced search.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait, so add doesn't quite make sense at this point, though. It would be like specify your search or if this crew is aware of what's going on.
Yeah. Let's try that. I'll just move that here. Kind of an idea. So try this. I'll do something not different, but. Oh, okay. This is what you mean. No, okay. So I think we're aligned in a way. I was thinking more about something like search, and then search here or whatever. So this would be in the actual UI, just classic. But you could.
Yeah, I think we're doing the same thing.
Yeah. So that's the simple search that you can have in your UI, with your catalog, whatever. And now you're
and in here you've got data, right? You're on the non-search screen.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. You're in the page itself.
Exactly.
and then
And
searching
now
is
you're
like
saying you want
quick
more
option.
than that.
That's it.
How you can activate that? What would be the best way to do that? A multi-group
Well,
button? No.
first of all, this is unnecessary on mobile because people hit search on their keyboards, native keyboard. You always get how the bottom left, the bottom right button is return, but you can make it to the right search or
Absolutely.
go.
Right.
So that's a space saving tip.
Yeah.
And then maybe button isn't the way to go then because it takes like a lot of height. Maybe it's just like a little hyperlink.
Okay. So if you do that, you okay. So that means let's go back to the Okay, great, wonderful. Let's do something like that, or just a link here. And then search.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And then search. Let's do the final. The final whatever it is. What would be if I did all my advanced search and click search? Now, what would all I have here? What kind of? How do I know that I hit advanced search or something like that? You know what I mean?
Well, I would do panel that kind of swoops in.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's
wait.
just after. Let's say that we now hit apply search. What will happen here? All the search term, everything. How do I know that I applied advanced search on it? You know what I mean?
Well, I was thinking this link brings you to this.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's say
okay.
Before we go there, I applied search. So what's going on after?
Oh, you
that?
mean you input search text?
Whatever. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Let's say that this will figure it out just after. I'm just wondering.
I hate that I can't see your mouse.
Oh yeah, I hate on that also.
When you say this, I'm like, what? With this?
Why? Why we don't have that? Is it because I don't see you? I don't know why. Include board position. You are. I really don't see. It's quite strange.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. Supposed to have that. Anyway, so let's say we click advanced search. We click a search. We have an advanced search. What will happen at the end? What will be here? Like.
Oh, you mean like showing you, with the results, showing you what you've filtered by,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
searched by.
What will be different now?
There's a way. Maybe it's like something here, like you've applied 4 filters.
Oh, that's it.
Or maybe it's like advanced search is still your way to like go to the place, and then you can just see here, like I keep saying filters, whatever, criteria applied. Oh no, it's the same thing because you get to the same place.
You're doing the same. You're right. No, it's good. It's good.
And maybe just a text mention, because since the information itself takes so much space, you would still have to go back to the whatever slide out to view and remember. Just because we're really unclear about the length of these labels, the amount of filters people might use at once. So just to be scalable and flexible, if there's like just an applied state that you see you've done something without getting the whole detail all the time.
So you would see something like that, for example.
Yeah. And then maybe like a quick clear.
Well,
it's always fun to have it quickly.
That's good. Here or in if you click clear, are you clearing the advanced search or just the text?
Good question. Maybe the search gets its own little X inside the field. Like, if you want to do that, you can. And it's so bold, this icon. I hate it. This one is better.
And so let's say we clear banana, but the advanced search is still applied. We can go back to this and say clear. Well, that's kind of
although I see just in the order of this example, the text search is like last.
It's true.
Right? It doesn't seem like it's the first thing people do. So I don't know how useful it is to like separate it and keep it with
So
different behavior.
let's try something just for fun. It's just this and this. Oh, I feel wrong. I don't know
It
how.
does. I'm lost. I'm like, where's my search?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay.
Well, because that's the thing, search and filtering, especially in advanced scenarios, are really similar. It's about like drop downs, selecting criteria. It's really a close, the line is thin. So if we are to call this a search, I think it's fair to keep textual search be the first thing, and then advanced search be more like a filter. And it is fair to keep them separated in this context. If this was really like framed as filtering, there wouldn't be a text box at all. It would just be filter, and you would see like 3 applied. Oh, I like that.
Well, that's the goal in a way. You're just having you have one criteria and
Yeah.
you're adding a bunch of them, and so you can even have a list of all your criteria as text because it's kind of strange. You can group them, but you it can become complicated. But this feel very natural. Okay,
That's
I'm adding.
interesting.
Well, if you didn't have the UI to build out your search strategy, you would put it manually. Use this and that, but not this. Remove this issue. So it could be a text thing. It's kind of a query builder. What we're building right now.
Yeah.
You have one type of text, one keyword, and you're adding stuff, or you're switching from simple to advanced. But now, if you can bring something together in mobile, it would be better because mobile, the context of use is quickly. I want to see something, so I'm entering bananas. So if I'm adding, I just don't know how to add criteria. So add criteria, maybe something like that. Criterias here, and you're adding stuff, and now it's switching.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, we should maybe just make one quick screen about adding a thing. So if you add a thing, you would get one of these. Oh no, wait, you first have to pick which filter you want to set.
So let's duplicate it.
Okay, there's gonna be a lot of steps on here, but like you have to choose filter 1, and then you have to choose which variable.
Do you? Let's say that you have a multi-group button and you just click and you have a list. Oh, it's true. You're right. Right.
Well, I have to open this. Does it have an open state? No.
Can we do something like that?
Box.
And it's always at the end,
Okay, right, maybe. Drop down. Oh no, not this one.
So that's easier. And now let's add a divider.
Isn't there just a box with items that I can create?
Next time we'll prototype in Figma. I promise.
This is the wrong idea. Bad idea.
I know, but we have to. What was your intention?
Just showing that you can pick the filters.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then once you pick it, what you were just saying, like it sticks at the bottom or it sticks at the top. Because you do want to be able to like add more.
That's a question. We're adding on top of each other. It's a list. We're scrolling.
Then if I pick A, what happens? This disappears. I do need my add again somewhere. Whoa. And then I get filter A in an open state. Like this. So add, I guess it would make sense at the bottom because it's easier to scale. This is all aligned and close to this. Then you can make your selection and you can add another one.
So that's.
Yeah, but I feel like there's an unnecessary step here somewhere.
Well, this we can remove it. We understand that it's just selecting, adding. That's it. Yeah. And now we have one. So that's great. That's good. And now we're ending up with this. And the cool thing with that is whatever you want here, it's a range, it's drop down, it's a list or whatever, you can customize it, you can group it. And if you want to add, products like he had here, a product and image, you're adding
Hmm.
two drop downs. So you
Yeah,
can
that's
cluster
it.
one.
The group comes together.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's good, I think. That's way better.
Hmm.
Way better. And so you search, you keep searching for something. You can enter banana, for example, here. Whatever it is. Let's just change it. Remove placeholders. And you apply search. And now you have more there. Well, we would have one criteria here. And maybe the number of classes would be a good thing to do. Maybe, yeah.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah, and I was almost gonna even write here like the number of results you're gonna get from this
where? Oh,
in the apply.
oh, that's interesting.
Like,
So the label, is it how many classes you have and how many you selected? What do you think here? So you have 12 and you selected 4, 5, and the issue, how many you have? Oh, kind of
I
going
would
crazy
do
here.
that. Your selection is shown at the top. Don't talk to me about the issue thing again.
Okay, so let's
Like,
say.
I feel like this is about, because let's say this is the placeholder state of this dropdown. It's telling me all classes.
Mhm,
But one option of this can be train, okay, whatever. But train
it's true.
is like a thing that includes 100 results. But I have only selected train,
So there,
you know?
good. Got
So
it.
this is the criteria I've picked, and this is what's going to be shown when I'm out of this state back into the search field.
Well, I was.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Good. Good. That's better. Yeah.
Something
I
like
was not
that.
on track with this. Yeah. Okay, good. That's great. That's great. Okay, so let's go back to the problem. I'll let you talk about it a little bit.
Cool. Problem. So this person is trying to translate to mobile, very complex, advanced search with a lot of drop downs, toggles, and groups of filters as well. And they are a bit unsure how to make use of space, and stuff has been coming out really small or really big. So we try to balance everything out, and the result is this short flow where at the very beginning you're not in the advanced state yet, because that's what something we understood from this mockup is that you first get like a quick search, which should be kind of centered around searching the text. And then you can, if you want, add more filtering types of criteria, which lands you to this kind of potentially a slide out full page moment where you can really just add criteria by criteria. And then as you build these up, you get numerical cues of what's going to happen if you search. So the number of results you're going to get, the number of filters you've selected, just so to keep track of like what's been going on. And then once you do search, the criteria as well as the text search are reflected in this kind of magical search field, because basically all of these criteria are used to filter down the list. So you still have a reminder of those right at the top of the data. And we're going with a clear, like an X that would just remove everything. So instead of removing like filter by filter and the text search separately, it's all the same thing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, one of the principles for the question about space is it's fine on mobile to like scroll a bunch. So this
Please.
particular example makes it not so scrolly, because you let people pick what they need instead of
Exactly.
showing the whole menu. So that's a way to go. But also, if you just would rather show them all, it's kind of fine to have stuff be long to scroll, because it's so quick to do. And also, it's fine to have stuff that's big like big
Oh, yeah,
buttons, easy to
sure.
hit targets, and you should stick to the native drop downs.
Oh,
The
yeah,
other
absolutely.
trick instead
And
of
now you have your
rewriting it.
versatility to add more than a drop downs. It can be a range, can be, you know, a big text message, whatever it is. It's blocks of things. So yeah, if you want more than drop downs, please you have this capabilities now. Thank you, Fanny. That was fun.
Yeah, it was
First
fun.
mobile
Thank
problem of
you.
the week. Yeah.
I
So
love
again,
these.
yeah, I do. I do feel not that complex, but at the end, but it doesn't feel that costly to implement. You know, it's just slide
Hmm.
out and
Yeah.
add. So it's not that. So thank you. If you have any kind of problem like that, you know, comment below, whatever. You get in touch with us.
Let us
We'll work
know.
on it. Yeah, let us know. So thank you. Have a wonderful day, Fanny, and see you very
Thank you.
soon for another problem of the week.